Hi friends, welcome to another section of this video. In this demo I am going to cover these topics. What I have done here is I have included one additional server which is nothing but the Exchange server. The rest of the two servers are same. The domain controller with IP 10.10.0.1, the backup server with IP 10.10.0.10. I have included a new Exchange server with the operating system Windows Server 2008 R2. The IP address of the Exchange server is 10.10.0.20. Now what I am going to do is use Symantec Backup Agent exe to add the Exchange server to our backup server list, run a full backup of the Exchange server which will eventually backup the mailbox database and the Microsoft Information Store. I will just delete a user's particular mail and then restore the user mail from our backup. Now let's get started. This is our domain controller with the IP 10.10.0.1. I have created a clone of the Windows Server 2008 server R2. There I will just show you. The name of the Exchange server is ex2k10. The fully qualified domain is ex2k10.myhomelab.local, and it runs Windows Server 2008 R2 Enterprise Edition with a service pack of 1. Now I have created a recipient mailbox for the administrator and another user which I have named it as Outlook user. There it's in the expansion progress. You will get to know soon. I'll just go to my domain controller. There in the previous demo we saw what the user 1 was. Now I have created another user and named it as Outlook user to make things acceptable for Exchange server. There you can see I have created a recipient mailbox for the administrator by default, and I have created a mailbox user for the Outlook user which we have created in the Active Directory. Now what I am going to do is log in into the client machine as the administrator, open Outlook, send some mail to the Outlook user, and then again log in as the Outlook user, delete some mails, and then get those mails from our BackupExec. Now let's see how to do that process. I'll just give an overview. I have created a new user called Outlook user. For this user I have created a mailbox in the Exchange server. Now what I am going to do is, before running a full backup, I have logged in the client machine as administrator. I am going to run Outlook. There you can see I am going to create a new mail. I am just going to add my newly created user, which is nothing but the Outlook user, and just send some mails to that user. I'll just name all this mail as mail 1, mail 2 and mail 3 so that you can understand. Now that I have sent one mail, you can see it in the sent items. Now again the administrator is going to send another mail for the Outlook user, which I'll name it as mail 2, and I'll again send it to that user. Again I am going to create a third mail, and I am again going to send it to the same Outlook user. I will name it as mail 3. Now the administrator has sent 3 mails to the user named as Outlook user, which is the user which you have created in our Active Directory, and also you have created a mailbox for that user. Now what I am going to do is log off my administrator in the client machine and log in the Outlook user to make sure that I received all the mails which has been sent by the administrator. Now I am going to open my Outlook client here. There you can see when I click on yes, I could able to receive the 3 mails that has been sent by the administrator. Now what I am going to do is run a full backup of my Exchange server. But before that I have to install the agent on my Exchange server. Let's see how to do that. I'm just adding my Exchange server. There you have two options. If you have a database availability group, you can go for this option, which I don't have right now, and I am also not going to do that right now. So I am going for a normal Windows computer agent. Click on next. Allow a trust with the Exchange server. Here add your Exchange server name with the domain administrator account. Click on next. Restart the Exchange server machine if required, and also if you have any old agent it will get upgraded. Click on next. You will get a summary of the agent that you are going to add for the Exchange server. Click on install, and there you can see the progress bar which shows that the agent is being installed. Right now I will pause the video till this process is completed. Your Exchange server will get restarted, and then I will get back. There you can see my backup server has initiated a restart, and now you can see my Exchange server is getting restarted, and once it has restarted it will get added to the backup servers list. There you can see I already have two servers. One is my local backup server, the other is my domain controller. Now it cannot establish a trust because it's being restarted here. Once it's restarted you can establish a trust, and my Exchange server will get added to the BackupExec list, and there you can see it. I have three servers right now. I will pause the video right now. There you can see my Exchange server has been added to the BackupExec list. There you can see the BackupExec agent utility on my Exchange server. Now what I am going to do is run a full backup, because there you can see my Outlook user has received 3 mails from my administrator. Now what I am going to do is delete one of these mails and then restore it from the backup. So before deleting it I am going to take a full backup of my Exchange server. So a backup has never been run on my Exchange server because just now I have added the agent. So in order to run the backup, just right click, backup to disk. I don't have a tape drive here. Select the contents that you want to backup. Let's name it as my first Exchange server backup. This naming sequence depends on your production environment. I also like to mention that I have used Windows 2008 R2 here. The reason is that Exchange 2010, it's a little bit difficult to install in Windows Server 2012. You have to install a lot of updates and a lot of registry settings has to be edited. I don't have that much of resources. This is a home lab environment, and I am pretty much comfortable with the 2008 server R2 version. So I have used that of OS for my Exchange server. Now there you have to select the required files for your Exchange server. I'll just make a full screen here. There you can see the mailbox database that's being backed up. Now an interesting point I would like to mention here is that whenever you run a backup, BackupExec always backs your full mail database and also your Microsoft information store. It doesn't back up your individual mails or mail accounts. But on the contrast, when you do a restore, you will get all the individual mail items. I will show you when I do a restore. Now just see my mailbox database is 12072777059. Just make a check it with my Exchange server. Organization mailbox. There you can see your mailbox database. There, that's my mailbox database 12072777059. Now this mailbox database, it's being backed up in my BackupExec server, and As I mentioned, BackupExec always takes a full backup of your Microsoft information stored without considering individual mailbox, but it will do exact opposite when doing a restore, which I will show you. Click on OK, click on edit. As previous, I am just cancelling this incremental backup. I am going to run a full back right now without a schedule, and I'm going to select my hard disk partition which I have created earlier as my storage. I'm going to do a software compression. That's it. There is not any changes in the rest of the settings. Click on OK. Click on OK. Now once I click OK, the backup job will start running, which will take around 20 minutes. So I'll just pause the video, and once the entire process is completed, I'll get back. There, my full backup has been completed. I will just double click my Exchange server. There, the full backup has been completed. Now what I'm going to do is that delete the mail that I received from my administrator. No problem, I still have the full backup, so it doesn't mind whether I delete or not. That's not going to make an issue. Anyhow, I'm going to work on a restore. So I am just deleting mail 1 and 2 that I have received from my administrator. Now the user Outlook has only one mail that has been sent by the administrator, which is mail 3. Now what I am going to do is that keep my Outlook user logged in and my Outlook in an open state, and I am going to perform a restore here, and let's see whether we get the mail back right in their own place or not. The mail has been stored in the inbox. Now I am going to create a restore job for my Exchange server. There I will make a full screen. There you can see what you want to restore. I want to restore a mailbox item from my Exchange server, so I am selecting Microsoft Exchange. Click on next. There you can see three options. I am not using a database, I mean the DAG. So I am going to restore an individual mailbox item. These have not much different. If you go for a search, you can go for this option. I'm not going to restore an item through search, so I'm going to select the second item. Click on next. Here in this screen is where I want to mention. There you can see the mailbox database has a full backup, which just shows the individual mail items of our user, which is Outlook user. There our Outlook user, you can click inbox and see that it has three mails: mail 1, mail 2 and mail 3, and the rest are all just configuration files, which is not much importance. There in my Outlook user, I'm going to select the inbox, and I'm going to select the two mails which I have deleted, which is mail 1 and mail 2. I'm going to click next. I'm going to restore it to the original location. Click on next. I don't want to recreate the user account or the mailbox, so click on next. I'm not going to run any commands. This is a summary of my backup job. You can give any name here. I'm just going to give it as restore mail item for Outlook user. Click on next. Now you can see that the restore job is going to run, and there it has started. I will pause the video and get back once the job has been restored. There my backup job is being restored, which means my Outlook mail items will be restored. I am just clicking on the client system. See, it's still in the open state. I have not closed the Outlook. I have deleted mail 1 and mail 2. Now you just have to wait and see what happens. I am going to send and receive all my folders. We have to check whether the restore job has not completed yet. It's still running, but I want to make sure that the Outlook has not been closed. It's still in my Outlook user profile, and my Outlook is open. I have not closed. I have clicked on the inbox. The restore job is still running. We will just wait live here. I'm not going to pause the video. We will just wait live here to see whether we get the mail items that has been deleted or not. It's still running. The restore job is still running. It depends, the timing depends on the number of mailbox items that you want to restore, and also it's based on your production environment. There you got, see, Symantec backup says that for Windows Server has been restored one or of your mailbox item. You can completely ignore this message. Even if required, you can delete this message. I'm going to do a send and receive right now to all my folders, and there you can see my mailbox 2, I mean the mail 2 and mail 1 which the administrator has sent has been restored. I am going to my BackupExec server to make sure that my restore job has been completed. Now there you can see on my client machine it's still my Outlook user profile, and the mail that the administrator has sent has been restored from my backup. You remember I deleted mail 1 and mail 2. I haven't deleted the mail 3. So now I have all my 3 mails and also a confirmation from Symantec BackupExec that the mailbox has been restored. Now I'll just go through what we have completed. We have just added an agent to our Exchange server so that it could be added to the backup servers list. We run a full backup job for our Exchange server which eventually backs our mailbox database and the Microsoft Information Store. I have deleted a user from the client. Just get back to that screen. Yeah, I have deleted mail 1 and mail 2, and I have restored the mailbox from the backup which we have run from our BackupExec server. I will go to that screen. Now when I double click on the Exchange server, you can see that I I have completed a full backup job, and I have also completed a restore job which eventually restored all my deleted mails. Now you might have seen during the restore job that I could able to select the individual items instead of the Microsoft Information Store. That's the difference when you do a backup of a Exchange mailbox. When you do a backup, you cannot do a individual mailbox item, but when you restore, you can do that. Hope this has made the things clear. These are the steps which we did right now. The mails has been restored. Please do share your feedback, which will encourage me to do more of these videos. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Thank you. Thank you so much.